in the spring of 1821. Jeremiah Crowberry rode into northern Alabama with wealth in his pocket and ambition carved deep into his bones. He bought 500 acres of rich land and raised a grand limestone house, white stone walls, green shutters, and a porch wide enough for family gatherings. To the neighbors, it was prosperity. To the enslaved men forced to build it, it was a place where tools went missing. Strange chills crept into stonework, and whispers seemed to leak from the foundations. The Crowberry family grew quickly. Jeremiah's wife filled the gardens with flowers, and their children filled the halls with noise. But loss entered early. William, the youngest boy, drowned in the swollen creek. The grief was unbearable, and it was the first time the house showed its hunger. Not long after William's funeral, his brother Nathaniel found something impossible: a door where no door had been. Inside was a child's room, perfectly made for William. A small chair, a toy chest, and above the desk, a miniature portrait of William himself, staring back as if he had never left. The discovery terrified the family. Their mother swore the chair had been burned, the portrait packed away. Yet the room was there, real as any other. They locked it and prayed silence would smother it. But silence was useless. When Eleanor, Jeremiah's daughter, later wasted away into illness and grief, a new chamber appeared after her burial, a soft blue sitting room, her needlework frozen mid-stitch, her silver inkwell on the desk. Each new room offered a window, and every window looked out only upon the family graveyard. The enslaved workers spoke cautiously about it. This was thin land, a place where death and life overlapped. They had seen such spirit doors before, carved in trees or stone. Now, it seemed the house itself had become one giant spirit door, expanding each time it swallowed someone whole. Among Jeremiah's children were the twins, Samuel and Sarah. Samuel was sharp, drawn to science, and obsessed with measurement. He drew maps of the manor, noting every door, every angle. When Sarah succumbed to cholera in 1851, Samuel noticed that the new room which appeared carried strange markings hidden in its corners. Circles, stars, glyphs that looked older than the family itself. Digging deeper, Samuel found similar marks in William's room, Eleanor's chamber, and even Jeremiah's old study. He traced them back to Creek ceremonial grounds that once stood on this very land. Stones from that sacred ring had been used to build the manor. According to whispered folklore, they were breathing places, gateways where spirits could cross. Samuel became consumed. He chalked symbols on floors, read missionary journals, and whispered invocations late at night. One evening, he felt it, the veil thinning. For a fleeting moment, he swore he saw Sarah at her quilt, alive again, her presence tangible. He grew convinced the house wasn't cursed, but a machine, a vessel that could bring the dead back. His journals became frantic. He wrote a full passage, the idea of crossing completely into the other side. One night, he locked himself in his study, chalk circles drawn, salt spilled around the door. By morning, he was gone. No body, no trace. But the house left its mark. A new room had appeared, a Harvard dormitory, Samuel's favorite place in life. Its window, too, looked only onto the family graves. Nathaniel, practical and cautious, tried to take his surviving children away from the manor, but the house resisted. His wife Rebecca died suddenly, and her perfect sitting room appeared overnight. Doors he boarded shut opened again. His children whispered about voices in the walls. Then came August of 1853. On the very day Nathaniel planned their escape, the house erupted. Doors slammed. Rooms shifted. Heat and cold surged. One by one, Nathaniel's children vanished into the new rooms. He tried to save his son, forcing open a door, but the threshold slammed shut. Nathaniel's body was found horribly severed in two, split between rooms that should have been side by side. The house had made its decision. The Crowberry family belonged to it. For a time, the estate sat empty. No buyer dared touch it, but eventually, a distant cousin named Edward Crowberry arrived with his own family. Skeptical of the legends, he dismissed the talk of living architecture. His children, however, quickly found invisible friends in the house. His youngest, Alice, told him plainly, "I'm part of the house now." Soon the rooms awakened again. Voices whispered. Edward found Samuel's old journal, but with new entries dated years after Samuel had disappeared. They spoke of the house preparing a final transformation. In 1854, letters from Edward stopped. When neighbors investigated, they found the house altered beyond recognition. New wings, third floor, windows in impossible places. The family was gone. During the Civil War, soldiers camped inside. Some vanished without explanation. Others described waking to find entirely new corridors overnight. Finally, in 1862, fire consumed the manor. Flames erupted in multiple rooms at once. Colors no one could name. Witnesses swore the house kept building new rooms as it burned, as if trying to complete itself. By dawn, only the stone foundations remained. Yet, the story didn't end. Still whispered that on certain autumn nights, the skeletal outline of the manor reappears, glowing faintly above its ruins. Windows shimmer in midair. The cemetery hums with voices. Cool, and those who linger too close sometimes swear they see a new door appear, waiting for them to step through. Because Crowberry Manor never stopped growing, it's still hungry. It always wants one more room.